not everyone makes the decision that I've got to become more, I guess, visible and expressed in my industry. A lot of people want to look at, like, how do I stay behind the scenes? Granted, probably not in the coaching world. I think the default in the coaching world is like, get out and scream from the rafters. But again, not everyone executes as well as you have. So paint a bit of a picture of what the business looked like before, and then walk us through some of the evolutions that's kind of allowed you to get to the, very rarefied position you're in now.
The first key point was when I was in Melbourne doing part of my coach training, and I for the first time said, I'm actually going to go write a book. I kind of thought about it for years and thought, I think I'm ready. I think I've got something to say now. And the message that I had was, I think this coaching skill set belongs in church world. So the first book that I wrote was called 12 Coaching Conversations Every Disciple Must Have. And it was a way of integrating my two worlds, because at that point, that Christianity was still the central sense-making paradigm, and I wanted to integrate it. But I can still remember casting that vision to Kat, my wife, and my best mate while I was in Melbourne. I rang him on the phone, told him that, and then I went back to the hotel where I was staying and wrote the first chapter of that book. And I was so excited and passionate and energized by that. But literally the second I shut the lid on that laptop, all that energy turned to fear and dread and, holy shit, what have I done? I put it out there. What if it's hopeless? What if no one reads it? What if I fail? What if I can't? And so that was kind of my first experience in insecurity and my own insecurity. I realized there was this monster inside me that if I didn't find a way of sorting out, I'd actually pull back from that edge and be paralyzed for that work. And so thankfully I was in a great space, the personal development space. I was in a good space to go sort that out. But that was kind of what started the seeds for the Insecurity Project, years later. So then, I solved the insecurity well enough then to write that book. Then the business partnership for 5 years, then on my own again. After reading Tim Ferriss's book, The 4-Hour Workweek, that was what really inspired the Germany experiment, to go see if I could get time, money, and mobility. Well, I felt like I'd got time back after the sabbatical year, but money and mobility seemed more elusive. Moving the family to Germany, not to get German clients, but just to deliberately cut off my ability to get local clients. And
so this was an experiment in forcing you to be able to make sales and deliver value online, right?
Yeah, that was exactly what it was. And I developed an online coaching program, a 30-day boot camp, and I had one person signed up to my first boot camp, selling it at $497.
You're like, right, we're going to Germany.
Yeah, one person had no plan B. That's it. Let's go, everyone.
Proof of what do you mean? This is proof of concept. We're good.
Yeah, it was incredible.
It's going to be great.
And we ran out of money.
You're right.
It worked okay, but we ran out of money halfway over, and Catherine confronted me about my money stuff while we were over there and said, sure, you're a good coach, but gee, you're hopeless at money and business, by the way. And I'm like, no, it's all happening. We're getting closer. I'm getting there. We're nearly there. And she's like, you've told me that too many times. This is a disaster. You don't know how to do business. Oh man, you're right. And so then I'd come home, and then there was cricket. So I felt like I'd made some real progress with this online thing, but then come back to Australia and no one was interested. And then that's when I had to do some work as a bricklayer and builder's labourer. Some days I'd earn, hey?
How was that?
It was horrible, but very powerful, because for 3 months, I'd work these long, hot days, and sometimes I'd earn $150 for the day, maybe $180. And I just thought, one coaching session at $330, just one coaching session means I don't have to spend one day in the hot sun. Surely I could work out how to just do one coaching session again. So it just made me dive deeper and deeper into the fact that this had to work. I had to find a way to make this work. Then it was, I got a bit of traction, had some extra energy around that, was getting a bit, but then still no real plan for how I was actually going to make it work. I knew I was a good coach. I knew I could get results, but the business structure was horrible. And then it was the sense of, right, well, I'm going to go really hard on insecurity. So there was a free coaching operation with the Business Enterprise Centre. You could get some hours of coaching the government were paying for. And so my BEC coach, I told him I was going to be the Insecurity Project, and he said, what's your plan B when that doesn't work? Like that, you can't be that. People are insecure about being insecure. So
that's what I said.
Yes, that's a terrible name.
It's like running a seminar for guys with small penises or something. It's like no one's going to that seminar.
That's what he said. And it knocked the wind out of my sails because I had this big epiphany. Yes, the Insecurity Project, that's it. This is the solution. I've worked it out. And then he said, no, you can't do that. And for 3 days, I had my tail between my legs. And then I get in the car driving, talking to myself, and I hear myself say, Jaemin, stop being such a little bitch. Like, he's not your mum. Who cares if he doesn't see your vision? It's your vision. What do you want to do? And what are you prepared to do about it? And it was then I kind of put a flag in the sand and went, what I want is to lead a conversation globally about solving the insecurity problem. That is the only thing that I want. People suffer greatly for not knowing how to do this. I am convinced this is a problem that can be solved. That is the only thing I'm going to do. And I'm going to talk to the elephant in the room from the very start. That's going to be my strategy. And I think it suits my style to be wholehearted about something like that. People kind of feel that from me. They also feel that it's embodied. They feel that this is something that's out of the overflow of my own experience. And so they kind of let me lead them into a vulnerable position, that somehow I provide enough safety by who I am to have a vulnerable conversation. And so